Saturday. Jim's here. They're going over all the pieces that came with the south bend. I'm jumping in to rope this snare and the bass. We are going to get this off the list today. It starts with putting little felt pads on the back of the ears, the inside surface, so it doesn't mar the shells. And this whole kit is getting kangaroo heads. Where do you get kangaroo heads? You get them from Kentville Steel out of Australia. Artisan kangaroo heads. He wrestles and skins the kangaroos himself. I think I made that up, but it sounds great.
It throws carborundum particles off. You don't realize it. Right? They bed in your hands. And because they're really hot for a nanosecond, they go in a little bit and that's it. Yeah. So I think I'm about done here unless you've had another issue.
No, I mean, I think I have a pretty good sense of what here is useful and what isn't.
No. You've got a lot of jackpot stuff on that way.
Yeah.
Considering the way it was presented,
Yeah, seriously. So I feel like these guys, I should probably just try to sell them. Because
Someone else can use it probably.
yeah, I'm just not gonna.
All right, here we go.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep. Bales, did you take any movies today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Jim left us. He started talking about yoga and then skedaddled. I broke out the Minutemen snare, glued the emblem down, reaffixed the T-nuts, taken a shot at gluing back down this crack. The veneer layer cracked and kind of popped up. It's not going to be perfect, but we're giving it a shot. Bill's putting the final touches on the tension of the snare and the bass. Did you actually get the snares on here?
Yeah,
Oh, so
I just
we're
put
in
a
a-
little CA glue on here.
So we're in the home stretch. So this
Yeah,
will
this
totally
is
be done.
And it's, you know, it sounds alright. Kangaroo heads are awesome, but as a snare side head,
A little too thick.
yeah, it's a little too thick. That I don't love them. I love them for everything else. That said, this guy wanted something that sounded very old. Like he wanted something that just had super like old-timey vibes, and I think that the thicker bottom head is actually gonna do what he
It'll
wants.
probably
I'm
do that.
kind of thinking about switching over to cable snares. Everything else, like those toms, I think sound great, and I haven't even tuned them yet. And I'm really excited about this kick. I think it's gonna be awesome.
And hopefully we can button this one up. That's my next target.
Sweet. Throw the grip tape on there.
26-inch kick.
Yeah, now with it all the way tight. So,
Oh yeah, it sounds better. Relaxed a bit with the...
yeah, like the
Spray
ropes were
bottle.
barely on, and it sounded like it was a 10-inch rack tom.
Yeah, it's... We got ripples in the front, so it's loosened up a bit.
Yeah, that's good. So the thing with what I found works pretty well with bass drums is like put it together, and get the heads wet and put them under tension and let it dry tight, so that then once all the humidity comes out of the heads, the pitch will be really high, and then you have room to back off. You know?
So that's cranked?
Yeah.
Or it's
Well, it's pretty
close.
cranked. So this way, because it's like maybe 30% humidity in here right now. We actually check in the spray booth, but those will dry fast, and then the pitch should be, yeah, 33% humidity.
We got
Once these
newfangled
dry,
meters. What is this technology?
yeah, there's a separate one on the drying side. So yeah, once these dry and we back off the ropes, this should be right where you want it for like a beefy bass drum sound. Natural skin heads are like, it's a whole thing, but if you have the patience for it, like they sound awesome, but it is a hassle, like no question about it.
This guy must love hassle because he got kangaroo heads and rope tension.
Yeah, seriously. Oh yeah, and he's ordering them from Sweden.
We've been using Odie's oil. Generally, we like it. We're finding on the lighter drums, it's attracting grime. And it doesn't wipe off easily. It's kinda no bueno. It's also gone up in price. That little jar, 45 bucks. If you buy it at Rockler, 60 bucks. Ridiculous. Looking for suggestions. Clear brie wax maybe? Bowling alley wax? Anyone ever try the walrus wax oil? Looking for something. We need the protection. We don't want it to get grimy because dust is gonna get on here. Fingerprints, it'll start looking nappy. Not good.
Still working the kinks out of this.
We lifted this idea from SJC. Usually we're clever enough to come up with our own cool ideas, but they beat us on this one. So currently the old table saw method is faster, but
Yeah.
once we get used to this one, I think this will kill it.
Once I get better at it. And it'll definitely yield better results.
Sweet. We're doing a time trial on an entire drum for our cost analysis project. So now that we got the shop reorg 90-95% done, there's still some cleanup and some clutter to do.
There's always going to be some like evolution and adaptation, but I'd say we solved the problem, but we're always going to refine it.
So now we're going back to basics. We're deciding what our core product line is, tier 2 product line, things we're gonna ditch because there's not enough meat on the bone. So core product line, rope drums, orchestral drums, things that we're not really gonna focus on, drum sets, rock snare drums, play to our strengths. With that, we're running cost analysis. So we're going to time every step of a single drum to get our actual numbers for labor hours. Then we can tally up all our labor cost, material costs, see exactly where we land. We know that prices have to come up just because of inflation, supply chain issues, that whole mess.
And I just haven't really raised my prices in like 8 years.
True. At the same time, we're gonna look at each step, see what needs help with efficiencies. If we need to make a jig, we'll make it. If we need to make a marking gauge, we'll make it. Sleds. Anything for quick repeatability, we're gonna do it. Then once we dig ourselves out of the backlog, we'll try to play on the offensive end, where we always have 2 shells with 3 rings ready to go. And we have a stack of hoop stock ready to go. Not necessarily edged, because maybe something to come in that we need to paint first or veneer first.
But just like shell blanks made up, and you know, like a lot of stuff, just get all the prep work batched out on a bunch of things. Go from there.
Then as work orders come in, we're able to order pick, throw stuff in the bay, get ahead of the game. And then I can shut up and poly these badges for another drum. Boom. 8.5. Yoga balls. Hope he picks a good one.
Hope so.
Thankfully, because we're switching some of our shell stock, this step will be eliminated.
Pretty soon we won't have to do this anymore. Well,
We got 2 more tubes to get through.
yeah, that's a lot of hoops. About 12 drums from now, we'll be done.
$13.5. It'd be good to lose that step. Good start on that. This still needs layout, drilling, decision on ears. Probably not going to get to it. Did reorder the board. It's looking good. We've been using the paperwork orders. That's a step in the right direction. We would like to not deal with paperwork orders because, well, I have a habit of setting them down and forgetting where I put them. So it would be nice if that was all digital and this whiteboard was a monitor and the spreadsheet was just up there. And the cells in the spreadsheet linked to the individual work order. We could add our updates there. Get a laptop as a terminal hanging off the workbench. Also, look at this hotness.
I gotta say, those turned out pretty cool.
It's a cool Kanga head.
Yeah.
Kentville, steel. Wrestled and killed to order.
He's Australian, you never know.
He ties one arm behind his back just to make it fair.
Yeah, he's wrangling those kangaroos.
I'm gonna tempt fate and take off these clamps. I was wrong, we're sliding over the goal line.
Yeah.
Drilled for vent, snare hardware, badges.
Yeah, waiting on a response from the client about what style of ear. But
And this guy is about to be done.
That's a wrap. This got the ears gathered. Bill's got to pick up some machine screws, acorn nuts. Then it just needs cut the rope, eye splice, string, press. A couple things did land on the board. We are gaining ground. Feeling pretty good about it. And taking one of the Tycos and the 3 brocades we didn't sell at PASIC over to the local drum shop, DeCenzo's drum shop, probably on consignment. So see if those will move. See you next week.